Yasenia, you're up next. The question I have for you is, you've only been in the business for 4 years. 4 years I'm sorry?
That's right.
4 years she's been in the business, and she went from assistant to loan officer, and now she's already a branch manager for a very successful, high-producing mortgage branch in Seattle, Washington. Anytime you grow that fast, you're going to experience hurdles. There's going to be growing pains. Talk to us a little bit about some of the struggles, some of the hurdles that you had to overcome in order to sort of sprint to where you're at.
Well, I don't know, how much time do we have? I have a long list. If you haven't noticed, I do have an accent. I am an immigrant, so when I can think of 3 hurdles, huge ones. So when I came into the U.S., eventually I found myself working at a farm picking cherries, and that was a rough job for a 13-year-old. And I decided I was gonna work through my focus in education, get a degree, and that would get me to my American dream. Okay. And little did I know that was not going to take me all the way, but it just gave me that push. Okay. So that was my huge aha moment growing up. I need to work hard, then you do the work, you get the degree, and then shoot, I don't have a work permit.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was devastated because I couldn't land any of the jobs that were being offered to me.
Sure.
I graduated from UW, and it just that degree wasn't any good for me at that time.
Wow.
So I decided to start a business eventually, and I was successful at it, and I was pretty happy. I figured out the whole immigration thing got figured out, had my green card, blah, blah, blah. Then the next step is getting a home.
Yeah.
And guess what? I go to a loan officer, and they turn me down. But they don't explain why. And then I go to another, I prepare myself, I do some research, prepare myself. I watched my first home being built. It takes about 5 to 7 months, depending on the construction company. And 3 weeks before it's done, I'm denied.
What?
When I was approved, 3 weeks before, I'm denied.
Wow.
I was discriminated, and that's the moment. And I had a successful business at that time. Yes, I have an accent, but my English is not so bad. I have an education, yada yada. I'm successful, and I'm being denied by the loan company, but this mortgage company. And I did some research online that weekend, found a way to make it work. And I told myself, this is not so difficult.
Yeah.
I can. I got myself another loan officer, closed the loan in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So clearly, I was just discriminated, and I thought I told myself that day, I'm going to become a loan officer.
Okay.
2 years later, because I was super comfortable with my business,
sure.
Eventually became a loan officer, and oh my God, that was the biggest obstacle that I've had in the last few years. You need to be with the people. You need to find people that you want to grow that you want to become like them. That you want to. That you can see yourself in their shoes in the future, not just what they have, but what they become, what they believe, sure. And that they have the time for you as well.
Yes.
Sometimes people mean well, but they don't have the time.
Right.
And it took me a while to get to where I am today.
Okay.
But I had to fight my way through. I did start as a loan assistant. Actually, was quote unquote loan assistant, but mostly like a receptionist. Okay. Just taking calls. And it just, I really had to find my way through to become a loan officer, just a junior loan officer. I wasn't being allowed because I was probably a better fit for that team as a loan assistant. Mm-hmm. But years before, I told myself I'm going to become a loan officer because there's people like me that need a loan, they need a home. And then those are the biggest hurdles of my life. Yeah. But it's just when one door closes, mm-hmm. you find another one that will open, and you don't take no for an answer.
Awesome. I love that. So the question I would have on top of that would be, do you think that perhaps the main reason why you move so quickly is that you had to go through those challenges, and you had to sort of approach the situation sort of outside the box which made you more capable, which made you hungrier, and perhaps even better understand the loan process and ultimately how to climb that ladder even quicker?
Every time, going back to what Ali mentioned earlier, we have to have a person, most loan officers have a certain trait, and I'm very competitive. And when you were talking to Ali, how you pick the right people to be in the right office, I was lucky enough to be across from your office when you were I believe you weren't.
We worked together. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she wasn't the branch manager yet. She was the highest successful loan officer with the team, and I would hear everything because my cubicle was right across, and everything they would say out loud, I would be a sponge and listening to everything, because I was there to become a loan officer, and the loan officer was doing X, Y, Z. And I would pick up a few things here and there. And every time I was told a no, I would find a way to make it a yes. I was told once that if I left the team I was with, that I would fall flat and I would become nothing.
Oh, wow.
And that was hurtful for a second.
Right, and then it was a driver.
But then it drove me to have the job that I had, loan assistant, but to also be selling.
Wow.
So I was doing... so that was one team telling me that I wasn't going to make it. Someone else in the team told me, what else did they tell me? Like I told you, I have a long list of no's.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't take it because my drive was, I'm going to become a loan officer. I'm going to help hundreds and hundreds of people get a home. And that's very fulfilling because making money is just not enough. I had a business. I was making good money. It's just not enough.
I love that.
You want to help people. Well, at least maybe the two together.
Yeah. That's fantastic, because what I'm hearing was it wasn't just financial gain you were seeking. Like, you had a mission. And that's what drove you to go even further. Did you think that you would be where you're at in 4 years?
I started with New American Funding a year ago. Actually, I lied. 3 months. I only have with them 9 months.
Okay.
If you asked me a year ago, would I had known that I would be where I am today? I would say no.
Okay.
I know what the end is, and it was to become very successful and to be at the top of my game. And I feel that there's so much more potential.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know that I would be able to get there faster, as quick as I have. Okay. But also, I'm not putting in 5 hours a day or 8. Since I started, I put the gas. How did they say in English?
Foot on the gas.
Foot on the gas. And I haven't let go.
Okay.
And I'm just going as fast as I can because I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love helping people. Yeah. And it's the time of year, right? Why not?
I like it. That's why they're here. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Do you guys have any questions?
Well, I do, because I watched your journey, and it's been a fun journey to watch. And you did it in such a short period of time. What takes people their whole career to go from start all the way to branch manager. And so, one, kudos to you. That's very impressive. I want to know what's next.
Yeah.
So you're doing this. You've already made all these strides in 4 years. Have you thought about what this next, maybe 5-year vision, or what you want to achieve in your career? Because I know you can do it. I'm just curious what to watch out for.
And it's just interesting that you asked, because I had been asking myself that. Because money is not always my only driver in being on the top. So right now I'm talking to nurturing a couple of people in the newly grads that are from the rural area where I grew up, that they know that they cannot see themselves as successful just because of where they grew up. So I want to inspire and help those people become, if they not become what I've become, but to be able to achieve success. And I've been starting to volunteer time, at least to just mentor, and hopefully to get more people in the industry, especially people who are from rural areas, from Washington State, and that maybe look like a little bit like me, that grew up in the tiny town of Mattawa, Washington.
That's awesome.
There's not any loan officers out there. So.
Paying it forward. Yes. Yeah. Hello.
your story inspires me so much, and it also tells the tale about why women are so successful in this industry, because it's kind of an old school way to approach leadership, to tell somebody that they can't do something. Whereas I feel like women just naturally are more nurturing, and we listen and hear something beyond what the other person, is doing right then. And so, had from earlier in your career, somebody had said, you can't, what is it that you want to do? Let's find a path forward for you to do that. And I think that's happening a lot. I'm guessing it's happening at a very high level in your branch with all the women that are succeeding, and it's very inspiring. So I'm glad that you're paying it forward.
Yeah, totally inspiring. I love everything that you said. And no, we need more future women. We definitely do. So
I'm glad you're mentioning
Amazing.
that your branch is now doing more training, because that was the biggest hurdle for me. Also, going into the industry, there's not a lot of training in this industry in general.
Right.
And it sounds like you guys are going that route, and I'm doing it in my branch as well with new people. So
because we learned, we were thrown in.
Yeah.
It was here's your desk, here's your phone, here's your computer. Now do it, and you're like fending for yourself. And so you and I learned firsthand what that was like. So for me, it was like, we have to change this. We have to go and actually teach someone and educate. And we were talking before all of this about you mentoring, and so I didn't realize you were taking it to this level, which is impressive. So thank you for doing that and giving back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have to say that I'm so inspired by what you've shared with us today. And it's obvious because I've never met you. And today, well, actually, I take that back. We did meet, but it's been so long and I haven't gotten to see you in a long time. But just meeting you again today and hearing your story and your backstory about everything, there's a massive common denominator in this group of women that is sitting here today. And it's that we are all passionate. And I think that is the best thing that we can have in this industry, because passion and drive mixed together is a force to be reckoned with. And anyone on this panel is a force to be reckoned with. So I just have to say thank you for sharing your story, because it struck something in me and I was like, wow, amazing. Yeah.
And I've always saw your advertisement or your calendars, your famous calendars, but I don't think we ever actually talked. And seeing you in this event, it's just, I mean, you all are amazing women. I know I only had met you actually, and it was great being part of that office and the atmosphere, because I did learn from you. And then now having the opportunity to see you live, not just on the calendar, I'm like, why didn't I ever work with her? It's just, I'm happy we're here because we're connecting and we're actually seeing the energy and the passion that we have for what we do. So thank you all for being here.
Awesome. Thank you.